Mm, ya se está. Sí, sí. Ay, yo me tomé la red. A ver, ¿cómo lo hago para ver el chat? En el chat de YouTube aquí. Se me ocurren formas. Yo mismo estoy viéndolo. Abrir en renta. Ahí está. Excelente. Así es, estoy en vivo. Estamos en vivo. Se puede ver algo así. Agregar. Pura ventana. Ya. Windows 10. No. Dice que es SBR. Debe ser el chat cortado manualmente. Más opciones. Seguro que hay de haber una forma más fácil de ver el YouTube chat acá. Esta previa. Propiedades. No son filtro. Tendré que inventarlo. ¿Qué hago? Quiero cortar algo. Figura. Filtros. Wow. Che, mira qué interesante, ¿no? Interesante que me olvidó cosas que te pregunté. Ventana donde vive, opciones, subtítulo, scripts, escena. Que me ahí cortar, no. Nombrar, cada modo funciona. Solventar. No hay más opciones. Voy a seguir la ventana, si quiero ver el cursor o no. Selección de R. Voy a hacer captura de ventana. Luego creo que puedo cambiar la forma de ventana. Y voy a cambiar cómo se ve. Sí, puedo tener hasta fuera de la pantalla. Ahora. ¿Qué va a hacer en YouTube? ¿Qué va a hacer en YouTube? No, 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 de Julián, como la wea. Muy grande esta wea. Pongámosle ganas. Si no, ¿para qué? Mismo ancho, pero más alto. Por lo menos lo puedo leer bien. Chat directo. No sé si se puede hacer más grande. No, no se puede hacer más alto. Lo que aquí hay, no sé ni cómo sacar esa weá de arriba, ni la de weá de abajo, ni nada. Por eso estamos practicando. Llegar con en la escena como rompiéndola. Por lo menos no se escucha lo que se está hablando afuera. Menos mal. No sé si escuchar. Voy a escucharme de nuevo, por mucho que sea recomendable. Rompiéndola. Bien. Vamos pensando en cómo arreglar esta wea. Más flaca y hacerle un zoom out. No sé cómo hacer eso. No sé cómo lo voy a hacer fácil. Me cambia todo. Tipo ahí. Se hace más flaco. No. Qué fuerte la wea. No lo escuchan, pero yo sí lo escucho. No, nadie lo escucha, no hay nada. ¿Por qué? ¿Cómo elimino esa wea? Sigue estando ahí. Encima la mitad. Ahora la mitad. Es como peor. Ahí. Es que no se va a ver todo el chat. Ay, creo que está sumado como soberano. No, no lo quería con tamaño completo. Shit, no voy a sacar la wea. Ahí se sale. Sí, sí. Ya debería estar. Lo más parecido a lo que quiero. Ay, YouTube chat. Qué hermoso. Una parpadeo todo este rato. Mentira. Lo que se ve en stream es mentira. Todos me dieron cagados. No me crean. Nunca he tenido una. Ay, YouTube chat. Qué hermoso. En el futuro sí se va a poder arreglar, ¿cierto? ¿Qué hago? ¿Por qué estoy acá? ¿Qué son ustedes? ¿Quién soy yo? Ya que hacen como el que saben hacer, veamos video en YouTube. ¿Qué podemos ver? Mira, me recomendaban hacer el tiro en chuchas. Yo, no mi nombre, ojalá. Así que va. Otra fuente. Hablaba de la captura de fuego. Área del cliente. ¿Cómo se cubre lo mismo que la pantalla si no tengo más? Porque abajo está la barra. Ahí sí. No se ve con el chat. No, eso no era. Tampoco es eso, eso es. ¿Cómo está real del monito? Sí, parpadea mayor, parpadea nomás. Yo no digo que tengo una tablet. Porque no tengo. Bueno, sí tengo, pero no tengo. Que nos ofrece YouTube. Me ofrece verme a mí. Thronefall. Saudi Arabia, el peor país del mundo, se sabe. Poco yo te amo.
Change their name to un nuevo nombre.
Meta.
Meto mis huevos en tu boca.
¡Vete a la verga, pendeja!
Change.
Tengo el WhatsApp abierto. ¿Qué es una
Their name to un nuevo nombre.
Meta.
Meto mis huevos en tu boca.
¡Vete a la verga, pendeja!
Change their name.
If you like to use the flog, you've got to.
Have you ever touched a bee before, like just for fun, petted a bee?
No, I'm afraid it's going to kill me.
No, it's not going to kill you. Okay, next time you see a bee, audience, look at me. Next time you see a bee, see them pollinating, touch their butt.
What?
Touch their butt. Well, ask for consent first. Ask for consent, touch their butt, and they won't do anything.
Can you say this without getting sued by someone that touches it and gets stung and has an allergic reaction?
Okay, here's the thing. When bees are pollinating, they don't care about anything in the whole world. It's like throwing a human into a pit of money and be like, hey, is it okay if I touch you here? They're like, I don't care. I don't care. Look at all this money. It's the same thing with a bee. Have you ever touched a bee before, like just for fun, petted a bee?
I have something I want to talk to you about. How come?
This guy tried to destroy the pyramids. And let me explain. Have you ever noticed that when looking at the pyramids of Giza in Egypt, one of them seems to have a giant slash down the middle of it? Like the whole thing is a pretty significant gap?
This is about how you sit. You sit really deep in the cockpit, unlike the F-15.
Help me choose what to wear to the Eras tour. Okay, first.
I woke up at 7:18. I woke up at 7:18 and I heard "Caw!" It's like,
un argumento, así que sigo crítica cinematográfica. Wow. Bro. Probemos contenido, nadie lo está viendo.
¿Va a cumplir 70 años?
Así es.
Ya, pero ¿cuál es el secreto para llegar a los 70?
Nuestro propósito.
Just for the sake of the conversation, to keep things clean and
you guys see the bunny?
Keep us from getting too messy. That's my focus. If that's okay with you.
Okay. You know what? Okay. Just for the sake of having a good argument, I'll do that. Except for when the topic matters.
Sure.
Right? It really matters. If it doesn't, overall fine. But there are certain points that like it plays a big role into it. If it's too big, I think I want to ignore it. But
you know what? That's 100% fine. I guess I'm just saying that for myself, so that when I'm talking, you understand that I'm talking about your YouTube channel and not making general statements about what's happening on Twitch. Okay?
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess my first question for you to start is that, do you think your work is transformative? Of course, that's one of the main tenets of fair use. Do you think your work is transformative?
Yes.
You do?
Yep.
Wait.
Here, I mean, okay, because I was watching you yesterday, and here you said it's absolutely not transformative. Here it is.
You don't have to care. That's totally fine. But do you agree that you've created non-transformative reactions?
100%. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We've agreed.
So here you say you've 100% made non-transformative reactions. Did you change your mind?
No, absolutely not. I didn't change my mind. The whole point is that nevers are really bad because I think we all have stuff that is not transformative. If you do a full-on yes or no, I just kind of like play with the question, and that was kind of like.
So, but your work is.
Es la ventana esta. Voy. Agreguemos. Navegador. Navegador. La URL. Mira, esto qué interesante. Se lo voy a esta cosa. ¿Por qué era tan más chico el ancho? 800, 800, yo hago lo que queráis. Seguro que está arriba. Ahorita me cambia todo. Pero me voy a ver más chico esta cosa. No va a ser ventana, tiene que ser browse. Pero para mí no, para que vean lo mismo. Algo así. Voy a cambiar esto. Sí, se lo puedo cambiar. Ancho, sí. Altura. 1660, esa es la altura de mi punto. ¿Por qué hay un corazón? ¿Qué significa eso? Ah. Uno puede mandar un corazón si quiere. No, eso no.
Not fully transformative. Some of it is not, by your own admission.
Yeah, some of it is less reacted. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright, or like the fact that it's illegal? Does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if
based anti-copyright leftist, we've got him, boys. Big corpo shill Ethan Klein, BTFO'd by Chad anti-IP law. Felix, I get a lot of this discourse in my community, by the way, for like whether or not intellectual property law should or should not exist. The answer is, and I'm correct to this, so if you ever have this discourse, just don't, because I'll give you the, like, you don't need to think from first principle. Don't think. I'll tell you what's right. Never think. IP law in the current system has to exist to some extent, because if it didn't, the only people who would benefit would be corporations, because corporations control an oligarchy, or like a not really a monopoly, but like a plutocracy or whatever, not only on the creation of media, but also the dissemination. So they could take any idea they want and then control the platforms through which they distributed their versions of those ideas, and you would get nothing. You would have nothing to protect your ideas. So that's not good. Some degree of IP law is necessary, and likewise, I agree with the idea behind the DMCA protections, the idea that platforms like YouTube can't be sued for having copyright content as long as they make a good faith effort to remove copyright content from their platform. That's what the DMCA laws are. However, their current implementation is bananas. So yeah, work could be done there.
It doesn't, because
So that's fair. That's totally fair. And so because it doesn't matter to you, I don't think there's any point to really even discuss fair use law.
I can elaborate a little bit.
Go ahead, please.
And open the door a tiny bit, just to give you a general angle. I truly believe that usually the people that enforce it are the ones that have a problem with it, right? The problem with the nature of the content itself. Because in terms of legality, right? Technically, if I'm playing some Telltale game, well, I mean, they could take me down anytime they want, right? Because that's their game, and I'm yoinking their stuff, right? So legality-wise, they could clap me for everything I've got, but for just playing their game.
Sure, yeah. But obviously, well, so fair use is decided on a case-by-case basis by a judge or jury. So it's hard to do big sweeping generalizations.
He is correct here. The reason why we have the expectation that full game playthroughs can be put on YouTube without copyright issues is purely an arbitrary one. One really obvious example of this being kind of weird and dumb is that if you play 10 seconds of copyrighted music from a movie on your YouTube live stream, the feds will shoot you in the back of the head through a window. They'll line up an anti-materiel rifle and kill you in the entire neighborhood in a single line. Whereas you can play as much music as you want from a video game soundtrack. And that's not because there's a separate set of laws or rules about it. That's just because people who make video games know that if you're playing their game, that music will play, and they don't want to copyright strike people who put up gameplay videos. And the reason for that is because we just socially accept that it's okay to put up copyright content as long as it's of a video game playthrough. Interesting, right? There's not actually a legal difference there. People got really upset with Nintendo for trying to claim and strike videos for putting up, or for like their video game videos, but they're only doing what everyone else does for all other media. Nintendo was just dumb enough to do it for video games as well. Yes, some video games have streamer modes with non-copyright music, but that's because they've licensed copyright music. I mean, music created for video games is usually not subject to immediate DMCA strikes for that reason.
About what is and what isn't, but ultimately, if I understand your position, you don't really care about the legality of it. You're more like concerned with the philosophical thoughts of reacting to content.
The limitations of that is that I care enough about it to where it affects me.
Fast
right?
talking.
So I have to care because it's the legality of it, right? Like if somebody wants to strike down, wants to send out a claim, whatever, well, I have to act on that, right? So whether I care or not, that will happen, and it happens all the time. Except I like to create an environment where I engage with people and content that are not going to do that because they believe in the mutually beneficial nature of the interaction, such as video games. Even though the video games.
Okay, I have this at 10% faster than normal. I'm actually going to turn it down to normal speed because even with a 10% boost, he's almost unintelligible. I can understand what he's saying, but it's like just barely, you know? Okay.
Strike me, and then they want for just playing their game on my
That's
stream.
normal speed.
Right. And so, okay. So I think my point is that we can kind of skip this whole conversation and move on to the, because I think we both agree, if we did a fair use analysis, and you admit that when you says it's not transformative, that a lot of the stuff you do would fail the fair use test. So we're on the same page. Yeah.
And also a lot of your stuff too. So we're in the same boat pretty much.
Probably not as much, no.
So I did a little of stats. Maybe you don't want to hear it or because you want to kind of but by density of content, with how much you upload as a person, as a channel,
Didn't see that.
I upload this much, right? Overall, because I have a lot of runtime. You upload about this much. If you were to break down the percentage of non-transformative content, your ratio is almost higher as mine.
I have no idea what you're trying to say right now. You're going to have to unpack that more. I don't understand this much, that much. You got to have to explain that a little more.
So the content you upload on YouTube and on your channels, right? The things that are on YouTube because you don't want to do Twitch.
Talk about my podcast?
Doesn't matter. Your content, the stuff that you upload, right? The stuff that you control and upload.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sure.
So overall, if you add all the content you put out there, right? I have about that much because it's a lot of runtime. It's a lot.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Do you have proof of that? Like you're just saying that much, this much. That seems a little silly.
I have one of the highest runtime across the internet in terms of like putting out content.
Oh, but fair use doesn't have to do with.
Oh, this is it. So one of the reasons that I don't stream that much is because when I started streaming, I saw people like XQC and to an extent as well Hassan and Destiny, and I decided that I really didn't want to be that. I try to time my streams around and about for as long as, like, I can maintain the height of my attention span, ideally, which is not long, I'll be fair. But I never wanted to be one of the people who, like, hey man, I stream 10 hours a day, and then, like, and then it's just, like, noise in the background, and then maybe, like, a third of it is real content. That's the reason why I try to, like, you go on, you hit, kablamo, see you tomorrow, that kind of thing. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with doing things the way XQC does with, like, streaming a ton, but I think we see kind of the natural consequence of this, where a lot of it is just him sort of leaning back in his chair and like, occasionally going, whoa, when like, while watching other people's videos, you know? Like, the consequence of streaming that long is that there's no way to maintain, like, a talk show level of engagement the whole time. You kind of have to... If I streamed 10 hours a day, I would do the same thing. You think I could do 10 hours of non-stop talking and, like, analysis and jokes? No, nobody can do that. Not for long, at least. Not over the course of a long-term career. That's way too much. So, of course, I would just put videos on and go, like, dude, crazy. Like, yeah, I totally do that. You do that for your 24-hour streams? Well, I play video games for the 24-hour streams, and that's different. I think we just socially have normalized that it is okay for a streamer to quietly play video games. You can if you take an...
Yo creo que es como si fuera un stream donde estaría leyendo un libro. Hay algo más dentro de eso, en el gameplay y la cuestión. Aunque los juegos de Telltale sí eran más o menos... No sé si es lo mismo porque es un juego de historia. La historia es el juego. No sé, como por ejemplo veo un Let's Play de The Walking Dead y no sé si la compraría ahora. A diferencia de otros juegos donde es como es la experiencia lo que vale la pena. En el caso de un libro, sería como un audiolibro, creo que no es ese, creo que también legalmente no se podría hacer. Pero es distinto si te gusta escuchar a una persona leer audiolibros versus solamente querer la historia.
Take enough drugs? I've got a bunch of 5-hour energy behind me. I order them in boxes now.
How long your stream is. It has to do with your commentary on the video. If your stream is 12 hours long and you're reacting to an 8-minute video, it doesn't matter. It matters what you said about the 8-minute video. It doesn't matter how long you stream for. So I don't understand your point.
Drink coffee? I did that too. I woke up and I had my Adderall, and then I had a 5-hour energy, and then I had 2 cups of coffee, and then I started stream. Well, I finished the coffee during stream. And then later, if I'm sleepy again, then I'll have more 5-hour energy.
So if you let me elaborate on my point instead of breaking the semantics, right? Because you could
not
went
semantics. That's how fair use works.
Okay, we're not even talking about the nature of the content yet. The content, it could be a blank.
Hold on, just to be clear, you said you don't do fair use, but I don't also. So we're talking about fair use, just to be clear, right?
Okay. Let's reel back a little bit and stop being stupid for a minute and just kind of like listen. Okay.
I'm listening.
You said that I upload non-transformative content. Yes?
I will roll back on the caffeine. I've noticed that my hands are shaking a lot more than they used to.
You said that too, but yes.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, yeah. And I said that you do too, right? And I'm not saying... so you would say, oh, but dude, it's like a you-too double fault fallacy, right? But in the instance where you try to take the high road and say, well, I don't do this, guys. Well, you do. And my next point is that in amount of content that you upload, you're non-reactive. There's actually quite a lot.
I don't know what that means. You have to stop saying that. It doesn't mean anything. You're just saying stuff.
Well, I'm saying that
you're just doing this. You do a lot of this and this. There's no stats. There's no data. I don't even know what you're referring to.
I don't know what this is. What measurement are we?
If you want to talk about stats and data, there's one specific video that I just analyzed, just picked one out of the lot. A rapper who got a $20 Anne Frank tattoo. This is a let me just read off some stats, and you can tell me if mine matches up or is worse. So this is a video uploaded to your channel 10 days ago. A rapper who got a 10-minute handshake. Sorry, a 20.
¿Qué Inception estamos acá? El sueño dentro del sueño. El stream dentro del stream dentro del stream dentro del clip.
$20 Anne Frank face tattoo, okay? So the original video's runtime is 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Oh, sorry, no. The original video is 8 minutes 33 seconds, okay? The video here that you uploaded is 9 minutes 13 seconds. That means you added 40 seconds to an 8.5-minute video, adding 7.8% runtime. Actually, I even did you a favor. I condensed all of your commentary on this specific video into just a short video because it's only 40 seconds. So I'll show this. Well, this is important because what you say, the commentary does matter. Because
before you finish, let me go. So you're about to prove me right.
¿Por qué si llegó ahí como con ganas de pelear? Tenían que ir más humildes, Susi, para escuchar, para entender qué guay te iban a decir.
I said I do non-transformative dog shit, and you're about to show me non-transformative dog shit.
Okay, fair. So I don't have to show it to you.
I mean, you'll go clap me because I mean I just said I did that.
Yeah, bueno.
Okay.
That's like saying I'm white and I'm on camera.
Well, you said that.
Well, hold on. You're French for one.
Sí, blanco. No existe la blancura fuera de Estados Unidos. Solo en Gringolandia existe el concepto de blanco y negro. En los países europeos existe tu nacionalidad. Bueno, y ahora está empezando a salir tema de tu continentalidad.
It's increasingly belligerent as this goes on. I only know that because I saw a clip from later in the debate, which is truly wild, a rhetorical strategy for which I would have no defense if I encountered it. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to say this, because XQC is a massive belligerent child. Like, he can't take criticism. Okay, this is now a Hassan appreciation stream, okay? Because compared to this, like, Hassan is like a Tibetan monk who meditates for 12 hours a day on a bed of spikes, and if ever you told him something with which he disagreed, he would take a deep breath and then reflect for a moment before recognizing his faults or something. Like, XQC is so belligerent, dude. Holy shit.
This is more transformative than mine, so I don't understand the consistency, the point you're trying to make.
Now that you've brought that up, I mean, sure, let's take
well, hold on. Before you do that, let's just. Well, I do think it's interesting because the commentary does matter.
Where?
Arnold began to notice that
music.
Arnold didn't have the best. He knows as one of the.
What the fuck am I watching? I mean,
that tattoo was finished.
Wait, that
response.
That did pretty good, actually. What the fuck? That guy's really good who did that.
The argument with everything explained.
Bro, that crowd though. Oh, is that Tana? What the fuck? Adam 22. What the fuck? But why do you always pick the dumbest Reddit comments? I guess. I thought they had like one song. Fair enough. Hey, that's legit. Shit. Yeah, one song. Well, anyway, he's like Kappa. He talks normally and shit. Wait.
Feel good about themselves.
So that's the entirety of
Hagamos un XQC. What?
the commentary you added to his 8, and I think it's even fair. And I know you don't defend yourself on this, so I guess it's kind of a moot point. But the quality of the commentary, like, you have to be commenting, analyzing, being critical of the content you're watching for it to be fair use. But that doesn't matter, right? Because you don't even believe it is.
Ethan, I think you're right. I think you got me. So I think instead, I think we should get an example, one of your examples then.
Sure, I'd love to.
Let's get one of your
We'll take a look at Ethan Klein's tweet threads after this discussion is done. Don't worry, there's plenty to get into there. Yeah.
Sure, I'd love to.
Let's get one of your
We'll take a look at Ethan Klein's tweet threads after this discussion is done. Don't worry, there's plenty to get into there. Yeah. So I guess this is what I would consider to be like the lowest bar for React content, which is kind of shameful considering XQC is such a large streamer that he got a $100 million deal with Kick, you know? It's like, this is what people want, I guess, which isn't great. Okay. I just want to talk to a second to XQC fans who are not watching me right now, because there's no way they have the attention span for this. But I want to talk to them really quick, okay? I don't think there's anything wrong with watching people you like the personalities of react to stuff. I've done it. You've definitely done it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I do think that there would probably be some benefit to you experiencing these things without the filter of that personality. Because I know even when I was growing up, there were people whose personalities were that they would talk and act like the content creators they watched react content of, and I'm sure that's even worse today than it was when I was growing up, like by a lot. I'm willing.
Este weón tiene como 28, ¿no? ¿Cuándo estaba en la media? 10 años atrás, 2013. Los 4 años de media fueron... Voy a hacer sumas. Bueno, 13, 12, no lo voy a decir, y 2010. ¿Quién era famoso en ese tiempo? Smosh, Epic Milton, ya, lo veo, pero de la media, no sé, algunos de los ateos que estaba por ese tiempo. En Chile estaba Ahora Soy Germán, y oye, What the Fuck Show, el Whatever Tomorrow, su lloro.
Willing to bet?
En media interpretando, agarrando las persos de estos otros. Puede ser, no sé. En ese tiempo yo ni se metía a YouTube, eran como videos chistosos, como ver la mejor cuña y la weá.
And I really think you have to be careful about that. Learn to enjoy stuff without the filter. Couldn't you have watched that video on the wild face tattoo without like, what did he really add to it? Are you so insecure in your own amazement that you need somebody else to be amazed for you? Like, it's the catharsis of seeing the amazement of the React streamer, and you're like, well, I'm amazed too. See, we're as one on this. I think it would be good to be comfortable doing that on your own a bit.
Examples that show me the guidelines, what I should do to react. How do I post that in chat? Can I post this right?
I like the chat interaction as chat watching. I will say, actually, I often find the chat to be more entertaining than thanks, Beetle, than the streamer themselves when I see clips to that effect sometimes. I do think that it can be quite fun to see something funny happen in a video and then you see like 500 emotes lining up on the side of the screen. I think that's enjoyable. There's just something kind of like fun with the group experience of that. But understand that there is a difference between chat being a spectator to something and watching a React streamer be the filter through which you watch it. The filter is different from the accompaniment, you know? Being in an audience, being a member of an audience isn't a filter. You're just experiencing something as a group. But I mean, you know, if you want to, okay? Here's an AI challenge for any programmers, okay? Develop a plugin where whenever you're watching a YouTube video, it superimposes a fake chat on the side of the screen that will react to the content of the video and like throw emotes out there like pogs or whatever, all right? If you could do that and then have an occasional like ad plugin and you'll be a billionaire, all right? Because that's all people want. People just want just a line of PogChamps alongside everything. Absolutely everything, okay?
Click on that.
¿Cómo se podría hacer eso? No debería ser tan complicado, creo. Escuchen cómo le pego al compo. Difícil no creo que sea. Quédate ahí, guayo. El fondo y hasta ahí. Y ese también tiene que estar ahí. Me gustaría ver cómo es la de otra forma. Puede estar ahí incluso. Toda la parte de arriba es como inútil. Según yo sí puedo borrarlo. Porque no era navegador, porque necesito parar y avanzar y todo eso. ¿Qué está en rojo? Filo.
So instead of having my example of it, I think we should use yours instead, so I could learn how to be a better creator. How about you click on that?
Good idea. I'd love to check it out. Oh, I have to open it. Okay, I'll open it.
Yeah, it's in the chat.
1 second here.
Listen to the other.
So yeah, you uploaded to your XQC Clips channel. You uploaded 5.
You'll see,
dude. You uploaded 5. Well, I just want to explain it. You uploaded 5 clips. Or wait, shit. You upload on this channel so
just
much.
play it. So when it was my turn, you played my clip. When it's your turn, you don't play the clip and you just comment before seeing it.
No, I'm setting it up for you. I'm gonna play it. I'm opening it. Here, sorry.
Very defensive right off the bat.
Here it is. Here's one of them from your channel.
1.2 million views and 6.
Now, is it okay if we watch this one? Ethan shows XQC how transformative reactions are done. Number 4. This is the one you uploaded. Yeah.
Number 4 works. Oh, number 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all good. So here it is. So you can.
Hours. Okay, King. Jesus.
Finally over. Logan Paul.
Do you notice a problem already, Felix?
So many.
There's a cut here.
Picture in pictures.
Okay, King. Jesus.
Why is there a cut there?
Huh?
Yeah, there's a cut here.
So whenever you play my video, did I say, wait, Ethan?
God damn it.
I think
Okay,
I've seen something on the screen right there. Is that a dead pixel? Is that just play the video, bro? Jesus Christ.
Okay, but it undermines your argument if you're showing an edited clip. If you're cutting out my commentary and then trying to say I don't use fair use, this seems a little silly. But I'll play it.
Play the video.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm in the corner.
Logan Paul apologized.
CoffeeZilla, your slang is. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, more like an internet criminal.
Oops, wrong video. That was the first response. He actually
10 seconds of
apologized.
them sitting there like
This is like a Demon Mama maximal stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's not high effort.
No. This is like
not
that.
high effort.
I mean, hold on. Here,
Hold on.
let me get a
not
taste
it
of
either.
this. He didn't talk about it. He's literally just sitting there quietly for the first 30 seconds. You should sue him. You XQC, you beef bitch.
Turns out it's actually on his secondary channel.
I have to wait for this to be done.
I'll play the whole thing. Just let me know when to stop.
I have to wait
if you want me to.
I'm sorry.
Titled, Thank you, CoffeeZilla. It's the third response.
They could sue you, and they would be right to sue you. I think they would be in the right.
I think so.
Thank you.
Paul, and it's a pretty big change in Logan's attitude so far. So let's see what he has to say to us.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal.
I wonder what Ethan has to say, to be honest.
Going to hire me.
I'm sorry. I have to wait. It's too much.
I'm just wondering, because the guy says, I wonder what he has to say. I wonder what you have to say about this, because I'm watching you, and you haven't said shit yet, so I mean...
Well, you told me to let the clip play. Do you want me to let the clip play, or do you want me to interrupt it? You got to choose a lane.
I was trying to be creative with...
¿Qué hay aquí? Nada. No quiero que carguen. Goles.
And kind of do commentary at the same time, and I was trying to I was asking the Ethan, the guy that's morally above everybody, high roading, to react to it, but he's not saying shit. So there's like a problem with it.
Do you want me to keep playing it, or
keep playing it? Keep going.
Okay, cool.
But in all
Okay, I'll just stay here. Okay, that's fine. I'll wait for this to... Yep.
That's a good one right there, boy.
Does have some major admissions in it I want to go through. For one, Logan apologizes to me.
I called him. I apologized.
My criticism of him right now is that he uploaded this to YouTube. Because I understand the nature of... I mean, listen, it goes on. But I'm going to tell you, I find it really interesting that you think this is compelling. This is actually...
Are we done?
First of all, there's so many cuts in it. It's not persuasive at all. But one thing I do want to ask you about is why you cut out the beginning of the segment when I talked about it. Here's when I set up the video. Here it is. And again, the framing, what you say in the before and after is really important. So here's how that clip starts, Felix, which you cut out for some reason. Yeah, so Logan made a video after he got absolutely bodied for his response. Where he's like, I'm gonna sue you. This is bullshit. You're Why did you cut defaming this? me. Oh, you played a video.
So is that a pre-edit?
Is Ethan wearing eyeliner in this? His eyes are popping. He's serving a lot of right now. He looks blonde too. Yeah, I guess he is done up. Yeah, and no eyebrows. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. He's got a lot going on right now. Guys, this is a secret. that the gays don't want you to know, okay? If you're a guy and you ever want to get a lot of compliments, don't focus on, like, looking better. Focus on serving, okay? And usually what this means is looking ridiculous in a self-aware way, all right? Just wear makeup, shave your eyebrows, and then go outside and go to the gay part of town, and no matter what you look like, people will be complimenting you. I don't get it myself. It is true. I'm not joking.
Without
Is it like,
oh yeah, it's part of the same clip. You just went in and took out like 30-second slices from it.
So basically what you're saying is that you're going to the bar, right? And this part is like where you get in and where you get like a beer or something like that, right? And the rest of it, you just fucking say, basically it's like the intro. So if you put an intro, you're good. You say, guys, I have a video today, guys.
So you don't understand how fair use works, and that's fine. But I don't know why you want to debate fair use when you don't care about it. Yes, what you say in the beginning matters, bro. You're analyzing, I'm contextualizing, I'm criticizing, I'm analyzing it. That's what fair use is. I'm transforming it. I'm not just sitting there and the audience isn't just watching the video while, you know, I mean, you do get up and go to the bathroom a lot. So I know that you want to, but that's fine because you don't care about it. But for you to think that this is proof,
you use me as an example for your identity. Is what you're saying,
Felix, do you think this clip is compelling? Do you see what I'm saying? That this.
Bueno, imagina tener 100.000 millones de dólares y ser así de pendejo. Todavía es tener como tanta inseguridad.
Example is really dishonest.
Okay, so in that clip, my editor edited your own words saying.
Oh, can I ask you something? Your editor did this. Have you watched it?
Well, yeah, I watched it like you just did.
Oh, you did. Oh, you just watched it for the first time.
So the cuts are.
Have you watched the unedited?
Bueno, ya ni siquiera trabaja.
Edited version on my podcast.
Yeah, it's
okay. So then why was this removed?
If you don't let me talk, I mean, we're not gonna have a conversation.
Well, I just want to get to the point. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to deflect. I want to know why you cut this part.
Then when you ask a question, you have to wait for me to answer. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
You said, okay, go ahead, please.
Because you asked a question, you did 3 times. That's okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So there's four of them out of many of them. By the way, we only uploaded 4 because we didn't want you to go crazy with the DMCA stuff. Basically, it's pretty much a lot of it is spliced and it's back to back. So yeah, there is a cut, but it's like you're pausing a video, but it's the same thing. You go in stretch of the 2.5, 3 minutes.
You haven't proven that. But here's what I will say.
Well, go to get another one. Go get the one from Meat Canyon. That one is you. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that, like, in addition to him being incredibly defensive, I think it comes off as incredibly bad for XQC that his attempt to prove that he does transformative content involves looking for, like, specific videos or whatever. Because, like, it's a little bit unfair to compare to my channel because I do politics stuff, which means that I'm always going to be pausing and talking or whatever. But if you look at my channel and you look at, like, the runtime of my videos where I go over other people's videos, it's like, look at, you know, very obviously inconsistently. Where's the Ben Shapiro one? Where's the Ben Shapiro one? Yeah, two hours here. Wasn't it longer than 2 hours? I feel like the editors must have trimmed some of this down too. I feel like when I originally did that, it was longer than 2 hours. So editors must have trimmed some of this down too. I feel like when I originally did that, it was longer than 2 hours. So thank God the editor. Yeah. So, if somebody said like, dude, you steal content or whatever, I could go to any video on my channel and be like, well, here's me talking for 87 hours on this topic from a 2-minute video, you know? That's why we can only go over like 1 or 2 videos a day on this stream, you know? Like substantive videos. We can only go over 1 or 2 per stream. And sometimes we can't even go over 1 if it's like going over another person's debate. Yeah, so I don't know. To be clear again, because I don't want to, like, give the XQC fans the impression that I'm against React content in general, which is something that everyone who live streams does to some extent or another. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it, or even with going over a video and not having that much to say. It's more about, like, the habitual pattern of just re-watching and uploading other people's content. And then there's the whole thing with credit, right? If you're watching a big video from a big YouTuber, it's not as much of a deal, but if you're watching a video from a small YouTuber, it's very possible that, like, depending on how you handle it, they might not get a break they could have otherwise gotten. Like, depending on how you decide to host it or give credit. If you don't, you know, if you do, then it can be good for them. But if you don't, you know, The best example that I can think of is that there was a small channel that doesn't upload anymore, sadly, called Echo Gecko, where I saw their videos and liked them a lot. So I went over them on stream, and I did like a, hey, everyone go sub to this, and we got their sub numbers up quite a bit. I think, in fact, if I go to Social Blade, I just think it's nice to share that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can actually see where I discovered Echo Gecko's YouTube channel. Right over here, see? Which I think is indicative of commitment on my part to help them out. And their videos are still great, so still check them out. You know, even if they're not uploading anymore, they still have hours of content you can look at and appreciate.
You combo mustache twiddling, hair, and neck skin, and you do like this.
Yeah.
And you get all sorts of things, and that's major react.
Vosh Adam something. Adam something's channel is like 3 times the size of mine. But of course, do subscribe to Adam something. 100% friend of the. Sorry.
Bro,
Vayan a Adam something. Yo quería traducir sus videos, pero nunca supe cómo.
You do like mustache twiddling, hair, and neck skin, and you do like this.
Yeah.
And you get all sorts of things, and that's major react, bro. I have to give it to you.
Right.
Is he making fun of Ethan's thingy?
But here's what I will say.
Go to get another one. Go get the one from Meat Canyon. That one is you. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You combo mustache twiddling, hair, and neck skin, and you do like this.
Yeah.
And you get all sorts of things, and that's major react, bro. I have to give it to you.
Right. No, you're right.
I feel like if there's anybody who has no right to make fun of Ethan for the Tourette's thing, it has to be the twitchiest man on earth, XQC, right? Like it's this coming from Felix, like Jesus Christ.
You're right. You understand this concept because you talk about it all the time. Meat Canyon is my friend who gave me permission to react.
Oh, so it's about permission then. So now we're going to go post.
Well, hold on. It is. Hold on. Before we move on, I just want to make it clear that when you're accusing me of not adding enough commentary, that you did upload a clip that's deceptively edited, and I mean, frankly, dishonest. Why did you cut this beginning part?
Okay, so Ethan.
Que nunca lo había visto este guayo. Cárgate YouTube, mierda. O sea, Echo Gecko. A suscribirnos a Echo Gecko. Ahora se abra un tiro. Che, tengo buena internet, boludo. ¿Por qué me da oferta a mí mi propio stream? ¿No me lo cambiar? Ya no le cambio el nombre a nuestra calle Namur. ¿Qué buen Namur? Vamos a tener que poner privada esta weón. En Bélgica. ¿Y por qué le iban a cambiar? Para eso tengo que tener otra de estas. No lo feo. ¿Qué anuncios? suscrito. Hola, hola, ya. Voy a tratar de hacer algo con eso. Voy a hacer la primera visualización de mi propio video. Hola, hola, ya.
To make it clear that when you did begin.
So Ethan.
Que nunca lo había visto.
It did. And who gave me permission to react?
Oh.
Your eyebrows, and then go outside and go to the gay part of town, and no matter what you look like, people obviously inconsistently. And their videos are Social Blade. I just think it's nice to Social Blade.
Estadísticas para nerds.
In this video, we'll show you how you can do some simple edits to your videos when using YouTube on a computer. To get started, go to YouTube Studio and click Videos. Choose the video you'd like to make changes to. Then go to Editor. You can choose to trim the start or end of your video, or cut out parts in the middle. To trim the beginning or end, click Trim. You'll see a blue bar at each end of the video. Hover your mouse over the blue bar until it turns white. Now you can drag to the part you want to keep. Click Preview to see the edited video. If you'd like to make further adjustments, click Edit Trim. If you'd like to keep your changes, click Save, then Save again in this window. It may take a few hours for YouTube to update your video. Now we'll show you how to trim in the middle of your video, like this part. To get started, click the starting point where you want to trim, then click Trim. Now select Split. Drag the white bar to the point where you want the video to start again. By the way, you could trim multiple parts in one video. Once you're set, click Preview.
No es ahí. ¿Cómo es que el canal se ve? Lo único que puedo hacer es parpadear, ya que no me detecta casi nada. No, no hay nada. Terminemos, empecemos después, para después jugar a alguien.